Imagine with me, what would change if you stopped seeing fitness as something that you have to fit in and instead saw it as a layer in the foundation of a well-built life? If your life depends on you always being on, which is the essence of being a working mom, then why are you still putting your energy and your health last? What if being stuck isn't a problem with your schedule, but a pattern in your thinking? Well, today we're talking about how working moms win when it comes to their fitness. Welcome to Overcome the Fit Mind, Strong Body Show. We're doing something a little different today. I don't have a lot of well thought out notes to work from, so you're getting me a little bit off the cuff. So buckle up. We'll see how this goes. This is the working mom formula for fitness momentum without more time or willpower. Mother's Day just passed us by, and maybe that brought for you flowers, breakfast in bed, or for me, it brought bagels. But what if what you really needed wasn't a break, but a breakthrough? I'm not trying to use fluffy language here. Breakthrough is literally you having a sudden discovery in your thinking. So my aim today is to help you uncover and overcome what's keeping you from being the fit, career-driven, productive mom that you aspire to be. And if you feel like, yes, that is me, that is who I aspire to be, I am that way too. We are one the same here, honey. I'm going to give you my personal insights on what has worked for me and what has worked for dozens of our clients at Accelerate Wellness. We are in a very interesting time to be alive. People are quite opinionated about being a quote unquote trad wife or working outside of the home and how that affects the family dynamic and the pressure on women. And there is a lot of pressure on women. So I would just love to challenge your understanding of what is required to be a growing, thriving, and healthy working mom with a ton on your plate. Your plate is basically full all the time. I mean, whether you work or you stay at home, because the days that I've been exclusively staying at home with my kids are just as demanding, if not more mental load than actually working in my work. So either way, it's a lot. The first thing I want you to know is you were built for this. You have a unique capacity to handle what you have been given. And if you are a woman of faith, you don't have to handle it all alone, praise the Lord. And even if you're not, there are so many people out there that are just like you, willing to support you and love on you. We have to open our hands and take it. I am personally fully convinced and convicted that being a working mom is making me the person my kids need me to be. It is bringing about all of the potential that I have stored within me. And whatever route you take there, it doesn't really matter. It's just more so that you have peace with what you have chosen, and just know that there is not a limitation on what is available to you, whether you work from home, or do not. You still have the ability to be extremely healthy, to be flourishing, to be well taken care of. And if you're believing that because you're a mom, you have to be on the back burner, I just have to say this right away. That is a lie, a total lie. The version of me that my kids need the most is in progress. She is becoming. Intentional motherhood, in one word to me, is the word becoming. And if you are feeling stuck in any area of your life, that will manifest itself in the way that you show up in your job and with your kids. We are not compartmentalized beings. Women are not like that. I don't know if you've seen the Tale of Two Brains. If you haven't, go on YouTube and look up the Tale of Two Brains. It's hilarious. Cannot remember who does the video. I think his name is Mark. Could be wrong. But just the idea that men's brains are very good at separating things out, keeping things quite organized and in boxes that never touch each other. And women's brains are like the internet superhighway where everything affects everything else and everything's always going on and bzz, 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 all the time. Right? Exactly. So if you are feeling stuck in your health journey, you are not hiding it from the people who love you. I hate to tell you. It is vital that you move into a progressive mindset. It's going to feel really ironic when I tell you how I propose that you do that. So the acronym I would like you to remember for today is PIP, P-I-P. That's my formula for being a fit working mom that's on a wellness journey to continually keep improving and staying in a place where you say, yes, this is my best self to bring to everything that I do and everyone that I love. My daughter recently turned 5, and I remember sitting on the stairs as she was opening up gifts and having that thought I'm sure a lot of moms have, where you almost feel like your life is over. Like it would be totally fine for you to just pour all of your energy into your kids. I think for me, my daughter was putting on these little ballet shoes, and I grew up in dance. So just seeing her put on these shoes and dance around, in my head immediately it was like, oh, we have to get her into these different dance classes, and will she like this? Maybe she should try gymnastics. And how it is so easy to channel so much energy into this little being so that they can have the fullest life you can give them. And the thought that came to me in that moment was, my life is over. And now I know that's not true, but it was this fleeting thought of like, I think this is what other people don't think, but kind of feel at some point when they start living vicariously through their kids. And maybe I'm just in my own little world here imagining this, but how many moms do you know that do not pursue anything outside of their own children? And if you are absolutely at peace with that, awesome. But the majority of moms that I talk to, they are missing something. There is an excitement and a joy and a contribution level for you to give the most to your kids. So I really want to challenge this selfless mom narrative, this idea that you have to be selfless. As a Christian, I have to say that I could see how this makes sense, because we should deny ourselves and not think of ourselves. But I want you to think of the word selfless as literally you don't have a self. You just blend in with the background. You're like a chameleon, okay? God wants you. He wants to work with you and have a relationship with you. So your actual self, what makes you you, is desired, loved, valuable. He still wants that. So with your kids, if you were selfless, you don't have a self, you know your kids are copying everything. I'm sure you've seen this, where they start saying the things that you say and doing the things that you do, and it's like, whoa, holding up a mirror. And sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's very bite my nails, gotta watch myself. But your children are catching things that you do. You know, more is caught than taught. So if you don't have a self and you're not being uniquely you and comfortable in your body and comfortable in your clothes and comfortable with your voice and comfortable with your presence and comfortable with your interests and your desires and wanting to go learn things and contribute and collaborate, all these things that make you you, if they don't see you being an individual entity that is full and complex and whole, what kind of modeling are you doing? What are you teaching them? If you are willing to die for your kids, will you live for them? Your kids are going to inevitably adopt things about you, whether you like it or not. You know, last year, my husband left a job that he no longer enjoyed. It was pretty much sucking the life out of him. And I remember us having a conversation. Actually, I think we watched a podcast maybe, where the question presented was, if your, in his instance, son were to trade places with you right now where you are in life, would you be happy with that? And you, mama, to ask you that, if your daughter were to trade places with you the way you are now in life, would you be happy with that? Now, if you would, that's awesome. Way to go. If in any way you wouldn't, that is a flashlight on what you could be giving more intentionality to, so that you are creating a life that is worth modeling. And this will not steal from your children. It will not create a space where you neglect your children. It will actually help you to show up as the woman who inspires her kids, that has more joy, that can actually look your kids in the eye and say, yeah, I do hard things too. Now, mothering in itself is hard, but kids aren't in tune with how hard it is. They don't know. You don't know until you become a mom and you're like, oh my gosh. But For little kids, for them to watch you do a workout or to challenge yourself to a professional goal or to challenge yourself to a competition or to just do something scary in general, like maybe you want to jump out of a plane, not me. They are seeing that you are overcoming something. You're not just sitting back on the sidelines. This is what I love about fitness, is that your kids will see you do hard things. It really warmed my heart. The other day, one of our Accelerate Wellness clients, Michelle, posted a picture of herself racing, and the caption said, "Because hard things bring me joy." And my little heart leapt because I was like, that is what it's about. Because when your kids grow up and they have to do hard things, they will know that you did them too. You will literally have the receipts the whole time. So instead of you being like, go after your dreams, honey, be everything you can be, actually show them that you can be everything that you can be, right? And if you're like, cool, Victoria, that just sounds great, but I don't have a lot of time or energy, the PIP formula is going to help you, because you will get more mental space and more energy back from becoming that woman than any strategy that I could give you. So let's get into the PIP formula. Have you ever wondered why taking care of yourself feels selfish until you are sick or burnt out? It's our societal conditioning. So I want to reframe some things for you today. P in PIP stands for power. I love the word power. So power comes from the Latin word potere, which means to be able. Basically, when you are in your power, you are able to do something. You are able to exert some force. You are exhibiting authority, influence, competency. This is a phrase that I use with my clients often. Just stay in your power. I'm going to give you an example. If you were at a party and there was ice cream cake, all I ask is that you stay in your power. Now, that doesn't mean you eat the ice cream cake or not eat the ice cream cake. The answer is whatever feels like you are in your power position. So your power position might be, I'm going to not have that and exercise some self-restraint and view that as a gift to myself of self-respect and delayed gratification, and just knowing that I can have it later helps me to stay in that place of abundance and be fine with it. Or being in your power position might be actually having a piece of cake. And when you have that piece of cake, you have it without any guilt, without any shame, without any spiraling, without any binging, because you might as well, because you had some cake. No, your power position means I know I'm having this right now. I choose to. I'm totally in this moment. I'm totally accountable and responsible with it. And I'm great. I choose this. The non-power position, the powerless, is eating 3 slices and just hating on yourself and feeling totally discouraged and deflated and wanting to do something extreme the next day. That's the opposite. So we just want to stay in our power. So in terms of you being in your power as a mom, that means that you need to take radical responsibility. It's one of our core values as a company, for your actions. And that is so freeing. Nobody can make you do anything or feel anything except you. And in your power, you will have that liberation, but also that confrontation with these dark parts of yourself of like, oh, I've believed these lies. Oh, I've got these triggers. Oh, I have these patterns. Oh, I didn't realize I thought this. That's all part of discovering and harnessing your power. I so encourage you to work to understand yourself. One of the first things we ask our clients is regarding their beliefs, because your beliefs will dictate a lot of what you do. So creating a set of powerful beliefs and then reminding yourself, I am in my power when you do things, is going to be instrumental with you feeling like you are creating fitness momentum. This really goes hand in hand with the I. I have to tell you the I for you to really get the P. So the I is incomplete. You're probably like, what, Victoria? You're telling me to have an incomplete. I know this is confusing, especially if you went to college where you would think incomplete is synonymous with failing. But in the real world, incomplete is sometimes pretty powerful. A lot of us working women and moms, we have something called completion addiction. We have the drive to constantly check things off our list. You know what I'm saying? It will keep us up at night if we have 100 open loops in our brain, even though these loops don't really matter in the long run. Like, we'll think of all these things that we haven't done or have to do, and they're not really that important in the grand scheme of life. This is why people will prioritize inbox zero instead of what really moves the needle. If you have a completion addiction, you are going to really struggle with your workouts being incomplete, right? And you get into that all or nothing mentality. If I can't do the full thing, I will do nothing at all. And it's the same with your food. If I can't have an excellent day of eating, I will do nothing at all. If I screwed up in the morning, it's just a totally messed up day. We are so addicted to absolutely completing everything that we prioritize the thing that will give us that little dopamine hit as opposed to the thing that will give us some form of consistency. So you have to welcome incompletion, because incompletion is actually how you get consistent, and incompletion is how you stay in your power. I remember as a newer mom just doing whatever I could in my workouts. Whatever I got done was a win. You need to stay that way. Seriously. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have a standard of excellence, because I have a standard of excellence. I'm just saying that if you always want to finish things and your mental well-being and pride and worthiness is so attached to finishing things, if you're career-driven, you know exactly what I mean. You're gonna struggle with things looking a little bit more colorful as opposed to black and white. Incomplete is your friend. Incomplete means you might do some intuitive eating and you might track your food in the same day. What? How is it even possible? It's incomplete, but it's consistent. That is how you stay in your power. Incomplete means that you do some of the things for your self-care, even if it's not all of them. Just to clarify, I am not saying that you should aim for incomplete. I'm saying that your intention and your effort trumps your perfection and your absolute completion. You know, B+ is better than not trying at all. So that has worked incredibly well for our clients. We do not expect them to do everything perfectly. And the fact that they know that's not expected of them is what helps them to keep doing the things that move the needle. I would love for you also as a mom to just reframe the meaning of I'm doing it for them, because you might do this in your career, or you might just do this in your selflessness, like I'm just doing it all for them, right? And if your kids grow up watching you put yourself last or put your career above your family or your health or your faith, they're going to have some underlying beliefs to deal with later in life. None of us can be perfect parents. That doesn't exist. But we do need to be conscious. We need to be aware. Awareness is the stepping stone for change, for transformation. All transformation starts with awareness. I think this is something I've said on the podcast before, but isn't it so true that we have to open up our eyes, get out of the tunnel vision that we live in most of the time because we're stressed, and see what we're actually doing that's implying what we believe to the little eyes that are watching us. And you can just flip this around to the motivation to take care of your body, your energy, and your dreams. Recently, we had a client who, after probably 7 months of feeling kind of off and on with things, had the discovery that reclaiming her health meant reclaiming herself. And it was like a snowball rolling down the hill. Every single week was a phenomenal check-in, was all this awesome feedback. That was the breakthrough she needed. And you can have that too. Now I have to give you the last P. The last P is present. This is why I said it's kind of ironic before that in order for you to get out of feeling stuck, you have to feel present first. It seems counterintuitive because you would think, oh, I need to get into motion if I feel stuck. And yes, that's true. But just getting present with yourself helps you get into your power so that you can think clearly and experience the fullness of your life and be super intentional as a mom and a professional. We're going at a mile a minute, and we're thinking of the next thing all the time. I have already lived 5 lives by 9 a.m. when it comes to getting my kids out the door for preschool. So having little glimmers of being present literally pulls you back into your life so that you can ask yourself, am I building a legacy on purpose? Am I doing the things that make me into the woman that I desire to be, that I feel called to be? If you are needing fitness momentum, start by getting present in the moment instead of scrounging for all these different things. Is this the fix? Is this the thing? Not only is that survival state signals to your nervous system because you're constantly looking for something outside of yourself, but it actually is clouding your ability to think clearly. Just take a second to be present. Oh, I know that in this next moment, I can be in my power by just going for a 10-minute walk after this meal. I can be in my power by just taking a pause before I respond to my screaming child. I can be in my power by not responding to this email right away and getting to all of my emails in 2 hours. There are so many things you can do to get back into your power and to give yourself little bits of an edge throughout the day. The reality is that working moms are so very constrained on time and energy that it actually can be a superpower. It forces us to be creative and to prioritize. It forces us to harness our focus, but we have to be present to make sure that we haven't trained ourselves to focus on the wrong things. Remember, we're not just getting things done for the sake of the completion. We're doing what actually gives us joy, brings us peace, moves the needle into who we want to become so that our family can see it, so that our family can benefit, and so that we can show up more fully in our careers. Will your kids remember a mom who's always tired and irritable and stretched thin, or a woman who made bold choices, stayed in her power, and lived with joy? So in closing, Pip, it's really that simple. You don't have to do the whole workout, just do something. You don't have to have a perfect day of eating, just increase your protein. You don't have to meditate for 30 minutes this morning, you just have to take 3 deep breaths before your next meal. You're in your power. It's okay to have an incomplete as long as you stay present. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You are an overcomer. I'm so glad that you are here to rise up above whatever is keeping you from your most intentional, rich, fulfilling life. If you're ready to stop surviving and start showing up fully for yourself in a whole new way, we are ready to support you at Accelerate Wellness. You can click the link in the show notes to hear more about our Metabolic Restore Method program, or you can DM me at victoriahartcorn.fitness, the word SMART, on Instagram to download our Smarter Fat Loss Plan for busy women who are ready for more. See you on the next one.